Today is 1/8/21. That is a Friday morning. We want to thank each and every one of y'all for being a part of the channel. We want to thank you guys for every time you subscribe. We want to thank you guys for every time you hit a like button on a video. We want to thank you guys for just tuning in and listening to the messages that God is allowing us to put out. Remember, you can make it through Jesus by speaking life over your life. All right. So let's go ahead and get into the Wisdom Series, Volume 3, Wisdom Series, Volume 3. And now I'm going to show you guys what wisdom looks like. What wisdom looks like. First video was showing you the levels of wisdom. Second video was showing you that you would need to get the fear of the Lord if you truly want to go deeper in your wisdom growth. If you want that level to increase, then you have to get the fear of the Lord so the Lord can show you how to increase that wisdom. Now in volume 3, I'm going to show you what wisdom looks like. So as this lesson and you're reading through it, I would like or ask of you that as you go throughout the day, I ask of you can you pinpoint as wisdom jumps up at you? Can you pinpoint how wisdom looks? So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to try to give you a better and clear understanding of what wisdom looks like, so you will be able to identify her on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm going to try to do my best because people try to make wisdom very complicated, but it's not. It's not complicated at all. It's quite simple. And as I explain it to you, you'll see. Okay. And the best analogy that I like to use is a stop sign. You are in your car and you are driving your vehicle. Your vehicle comes to the stop sign. As you see the stop sign, knowledge, listen to me, knowledge tells you there's a stop sign. That's what knowledge tells you. When you apply wisdom, all you do is stop. All wisdom is, simplified version, applying what you know. That's what wisdom is in its simplified version. What you know about me, apply it. That's wisdom, applying what you know. So going back to the vehicle, when your vehicle comes up to the stop sign, knowledge tells you that there's a stop sign. Wisdom allows you to stop. So when you apply that stop and you apply that brake, you have just applied wisdom to your life. That simple. So on a day-to-day basis, when someone comes at you, and they want to be rude to you, they want to talk down to you, they want to talk negatively to you. Wisdom, what do you know about God? When someone comes at you, a prudent person can overlook an insult. Well, wisdom has prudence in it. So when you apply what you know, when someone comes at you and they talk mess, and you give them a gentle answer that turns away wrath, that is wisdom in action. Let me explain to you wisdom real quick more, and then we'll get into examples of it so you can see it. All right, let's go to Proverbs 8. We're going to start in Proverbs 8, 1 through 4. Proverbs 8, 1 through 4. Does not wisdom call out? Does not understanding raise her voice? On the heights along the way where the paths meet, she takes her stand. Beside the gates leading into the city, at the entry, she cries aloud. To you, O man, I call out to raise my voice to all mankind. So wisdom is telling you here, where the paths meet, I'll be there. When you get ready to enter into a decision, I will be there. When you go into that decision, I will still be there calling out for you. So now wisdom is telling you where the paths meet. When you're getting ready to make a decision, if you let me, I'll show you which way to go. When you get ready to go into your decision, if you let me, I'll make sure you're going the right way. When you get in that decision, if you let me, I'll show you where I'm at in that decision as well. Let me give you an example. Let's go into so you can see wisdom in action, okay? Let's start off in Genesis 39. Genesis 39, we're going to go 6 through 12. Genesis 39, 6 through 12. Okay, when you get a chance. Genesis 39, 6 through 12. I'm getting it, as you hear me turning. Genesis 39, 6 through 12. I'm not going to read it all, but I'm going to skim through it because you know how I like it. Well, in verse 6, we see that Joseph was a well-built and handsome man. Okay, verse 7, and after a while, his master's wife took notice of Joseph, and said, "Come to bed with me." But he refused. "With me in charge," he told her, "my master does not concern himself with anything in this house. Everything he owns, he has entrusted to my care. No one is greater in this house than I. My master has withheld nothing from me except you, because you are his wife. How then can I do such a wicked thing and sin against my God?" And though she spoke to Joseph day after day, he refused to go to bed with her. Day after day, she tried to get him to go to bed. Day after day, she tried to get him alone. One day, as you keep reading, one of them days, she got him alone in the house. Woo, got him. Man, if you read, that man ducked out and took off running. Because what do you know about God? Joseph knew he couldn't sin. He said, how can I do such a wicked thing against my God? See, wisdom was there. As he looked and as he heard and as she kept coming on, wisdom said, nope, you can't do that. What do you know about God? Remember, love and faithfulness. Joseph showed God a lot of love right here, and he showed God a lot of faithfulness. Remember what God said, when love and faithfulness meet, it brings favor. Look at where Joseph's love and faithfulness pointed towards God. And you wonder why the Lord showed him so much favor. So see how wisdom jumped up? That's one example. Let's keep going. 1 Samuel 24. 1 Samuel 24. So what did Joseph know? He knew that would be a sin against God. So he acted upon what he knew. He put his wisdom into action. And he said no, and he ran. He applied what he knew. Let's keep going. 1 Samuel 24, 4 through 8. 1 Samuel 24, 4 through 8. So what happened here was David was on the run from Saul. Saul was chasing David because he wanted to kill David. Why? David did nothing wrong. It's just David was going to be the next king. Saul knew that. Saul wanted to kill him. So in this story, they were in a cave. And as they were in a cave, Saul went to relieve himself. So what happened was David's men were farther back in the cave. And David's men said to David, man, this is the moment that God has said, you need to go and take care of that. This man has been chasing us. We ain't done nothing wrong. You need to get him. So David thought about it. And as Saul was relieving himself, David crept up and cut off if I'm right, piece of his robe. I could be wrong, but I think he cut off a piece of his robe, or the corner of his robe. But as he cut off the corner of his robe, wisdom jumped up. And if you read it in verse 4, it says David was conscience stricken. His conscience was hurt. Wisdom jumped up. And let's see wisdom in action. David didn't hurt him. David cut off his robe, let him walk out of the cave, and look at what David did after. Verse 8, 24, 1 Samuel 24 and 8. Then David went out of the cave and called out to Saul, "My lord the king." When Saul looked behind him, David bowed down and prostrated himself with his face to the ground. Okay, hold on. This man is coming to kill you and your men that are with you for nothing you did wrong. Nothing you did wrong. And as you keep reading down here, David said, "Look, Saul, I don't know why you're after me." Now, mind you, he's face down on the ground while he's doing this. Why you're after me? But let me tell you, I haven't done anything. I haven't done anything to you. Now, I don't know how long you stayed on the ground. I can't answer that. But I haven't done anything to you. Why are you chasing me? I am sorry, you are the king. I would never touch the Lord's anointed one. Even though David may have felt that it was unfair for Saul to chase him, David knew. Here's knowledge. David knew. Do not touch God's anointed or do his prophet no harm. David knew that. Wisdom would not, wisdom doesn't never stop you. Let me make sure I say that. Wisdom doesn't stop you. It just raises her voice. It just lets you know I'm here. So as David was getting ready to contemplate killing Saul, look at how wisdom jumped up. Conscience struck him. Jumped up and said, "What do you know about God? You know that you're not supposed to do this." Now, it was up to David if he applied the wisdom that God gave him. And it looks like he applied the wisdom. How do we see it? Look at all the actions that followed. He went and he prostrated himself, laying face down. Now, pride will tell you, why are you laying face down to a man that wants to kill you? Why are you bowing down to that king? Remember, you're the next king. As soon as he gets moved out the way, you're going to be the king. But David didn't let his pride get in the way. And remember, I said to you yesterday, pride and wisdom, whatever one, they're going to have their higher level. And in this instance, David let wisdom have its highest level. And he deleted pride for a moment and see how wisdom showed herself. Let's keep going. There's another example of how you can see wisdom in action. Wisdom jumped up and showed herself. All right, let's keep going though, because I'm going to show you King David. He wasn't always living in that wisdom life. David wasn't always living in that wisdom life. Now, David lived in that pride life too. Let me show you this in the next chapter. 1 Samuel 25. 1 Samuel 25, and we're going to go 9 through 13. Now, I don't have time to read the whole chapter. It's a very, very good chapter if you get a chance. 1 Samuel 25, it talks about David, Abigail, and Nabal. But I'm going to show you how David's pride jumped up. In that instance, it did not. But in this instance, David's pride jumped up. All right. So what happened was David and his men would always keep not always, but sometimes they would keep an eye on Nabal's men. So as Nabal's men were out watching the sheep or tending the sheep, there was robbers out there. Well, David caught wind of them, I guess, one day, and then they were there and David's men kept guard over them. And we don't know y'all like that, but man, we see that you guys are trying to tend the sheep. So we're here. We're going to keep an eye on you. If any raiders or people come to steal your sheep, we got you. So David thought, man, by doing this, not at that moment, but later on, he thought, man, okay, well, I used to watch out for Nabal's sheep, and I hear that Nabal is shearing sheep. So maybe if I send some men to him, maybe he'll send me a gift to say thank you, David, for looking out for my men. So David sent men to Nabal. Nabal disrespected the men. He just flat out disrespected these men. You can read that in that. I don't have time for it. So those men reported it back to David. Now, what does wisdom tell you? Prudence, which wisdom has in it, overlooks an insult, right? Pride and wisdom don't exist in the same level. Let me show you David's pride. David didn't jump in his wisdom right away. Let's show you what his pride did. We're going to jump into 1 Samuel 25 and 12, right? 1 Samuel 25 and 12. David's men turned around and went back. When they arrived, they reported every word. David said to his men, "Put on your swords." So they put on their swords, and David put on his. After 400 men went up with David, while 200 stayed with the supplies. Now hold up. You can keep reading. David was hot. This man gonna disrespect me after everything I done for him. He gonna disrespect me? All right, homies, strap up. We about to finish him. That doesn't sound like wisdom to me. That sounds like pride and arrogance. Because why do you need 400 men, not including yourself, homie? You about to go take care of one man, even if he had 50 servants. What's 400 men gonna do? David said, "Oh no, I'm coming to take out your whole house, your whole family when I get done, homie. I'm gonna finish you." That does not sound like wisdom to me. Wisdom hates pride and arrogance. So why would wisdom encourage you to go do that? Wisdom is there. David's not listening to it. David's not applying it. See, wisdom is always there, but it never makes. The question is, will you apply what you know? That is wisdom. Applying what you know. So let's keep on going. A couple more. Maybe 2 Samuel, because I'm going to stay with David. 2 Samuel 11, because I want you to see that one moment you can use wisdom, and wisdom is there every day. In the next moments, you can say, I'm not going to use it, because wisdom never makes you. It just shows you what you ought to do. Now it's up to you if you apply her. She will always be there. The question is, will you apply her? Let's check it out. 2 Samuel 11. 2 Samuel 11. And we're going to go 2 through 5. 2 Samuel 11, 2 through 5. Let's see wisdom in action again, right? One evening, David got up from his bed and walked around on the roof of his palace. From the palace, he saw a woman bathing. The woman was very beautiful, and David sent someone to find out about her. Hey, homie, who's that? Who's that? Yeah, go and check on her. Now, mind you, the king could do whatever he wants. Who is that? The man said, "Isn't that Bathsheba, Uriah's wife?" There's wisdom. There's wisdom. Wisdom is jumping up. That's Bathsheba, Uriah's wife. Now you know who she is. Now comes, will you apply what you would know God would want you to do? You know, after that statement, I should not be messing with her. Wisdom has just stood up. Wisdom has said, David overruled his man and said, get her anyways. See, he did not apply what he knew. Then he got her pregnant. And then here comes, still not applying wisdom, calls his man and says, now send me back her husband. I'm going to try to trick her husband into sleeping with her and trick her husband into trying to get her pregnant so he won't know it was me. All that is not wisdom anywhere in there. That is pride, arrogance, cunningness, craftiness. None of that is wisdom. None of that is wisdom. Because wisdom is all about how we carry ourselves as well. Wisdom does not like perversity. Wisdom doesn't like that. And perversity, if I'm right, I have to go look up the word, but perverse, I think perverse speech. I think perverse is when he's talking about when you do actions, when you do actions and conduct that is not right, and you still do it anyways. Wisdom does not like that. Wisdom doesn't like that at all. When the conduct that you know is wrong and you keep doing it, that's not wisdom. That's you doing what you want to do. So what I wanted you to see, that wisdom is there every day. And what I wanted you to understand, that starting today, as you go out through this day, apply what you know. Let's see if we can identify wisdom this day. Quick example as I let you go. Someone comes and they are rude to you. Can you overlook an insult? And can you genuinely pray for them and ask God to forgive them? Because wisdom lets you know. Knowledge lets you know what you should do. Wisdom allows you to apply the knowledge that you have. Let's try to apply the amount of wisdom that God has given us today. And let's see how well we do with our wisdom this day. Be blessed on this great Friday, and let's see what God will do for us this day. And please, please apply your wisdom.